welcome to TFN Smart Trading Action Alert. I'm Laura Cadden. Solar technology ranks among the most popular investment sectors in 2007. Investors were able to cash in both on the fallout of high energy prices and the recent political popularity of alternative energies. The TFN Group's editors have been at the forefront of creating solar profits for their readers. Material Profits Sarah Nunnally's German solar stock recommendation, Q-Cells AG, is up 21.01%. Another of her picks, SAG Solarstrom, increased by 36.33%, both since August 3rd of this year. TFN's recommendation of Suntech Power Holdings is up 60% in a bit more than a year. But if you watched Smart Trading Action Alert back in June 16th, you were able to double your money on J. Christoph Amberger's recommendation of Chinese solar IPO Yingli Green Energy. Applying a 20% trailing stop, his LDK solar pick would have netted you over 150%. For a clearer perspective of what's ahead for the solar and photovoltaic market, I've asked Nick Hodge of Green Chip Stocks to come back on our show. Welcome back, Nick.
Thanks for having me back.
A pleasure. So after such a blockbuster year for solar, where do you see this market headed?
Well, having just returned from the Solar Power 2007 conference in Long Beach, I really think the solar market is going to continue to go through the roof. We've seen solar installations growing at about a 20% annual clip, and really that's only limited by how fast we can actually make the solar cells and slap them on the roofs. As you mentioned, there's some good Chinese plays entering the market. Those are going to continue to provide good returns. And also, once the silicon prices start to come down, we're going to see increased margins from the photovoltaic manufacturers as well.
So, well, let's discuss photovoltaics. We talked about that before on this show.
Mm-hmm.
What sector do you see the most technological and financial breakthroughs occurring in photovoltaics?
Well, right now the price of silicon is still relatively high, as I mentioned, so the companies that can limit the amount of silicon they use really stand to make the most profit. Companies that are doing this are specializing in thin film technology, which is essentially standard solar modules built a little thinner and maybe flexible. So as these companies really can limit the amount of silicon they use, they stand to really increase their bottom line. Also, as the silicon market begins to get flooded with new entrants, that price is going to come down, and the new entrants to the silicon markets is really going to be a good way to go. I believe Hoku Scientific may be a good stock to watch in this sector.
No kidding. Now, with all of these additional companies coming in, is that why the prices went so high originally? It was scarcity for silicon?
Well, there's actually been a silicon crunch for the past 3 or 4 years now. In 2004, the price stood at about $25 a kilogram. That's when we began to see increased demand from computer chip manufacturers and also exponential growth in the solar market. And that's really what sent up the price of silicon, that coupled with a lack of competitors really in the silicon supply market.
So now the last time you were on a show, you gave us a great stock pick recommendation. What have you got for us this week?
Today I brought a report written by my colleague Jeff Siegel about a company who's doing amazing things with thin film solar technology, as I mentioned earlier. We'll give you that whole full report and you can learn about that company.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me back. It was a pleasure.
We'll add information Nick mentioned to the homepage of TaipanFinancialNews.com under the Investment Strategies section. To learn more about his information service, go to www.greenchipstocks.com. Please join us next week for another opportunity for profits on TFN's Smart Trading Action Alert. For Nick Hodge and Taipan Financial News, I'm Laura Cadden.